G'day guys, Misfit Lion here, and yes, I am back again. We have joined a Pokemon League, battling league called the PGL. I am your coach of the Down Under DARMANITANS, and this is a video of my draft analysis of why I picked the mons I did. The draft was last weekend, last weekend, and we did a snake style draft, so where one person would go from the top and then we'd work our way down and then work our way back up for the next pick. So in the draft I was reasonably in the middle, so I got to pick some reasonably good mons. This video is to show you who I picked and to meet the team. So let's go on and meet the team. So our first pick is OU, and as everyone knows, OU is an extremely good tier. Everyone was picking their mons. Apple Code was first pick. And then everyone was picking their mons, and I noticed that no one had picked this guy up. I'm very surprised no one picked this guy up because he's an incredibly strong mon in this tier. So my first pick for the PGL draft was Mega Metagross. I'm so surprised no one picked him up. I've mainly picked him because his attack stat is through the roof, his defense stat is through the roof, his ability is amazing, Tough Claws. You could basically make him a all-out attacker with that attack stat is insane. Also, his defense is through the roof, he has some good resist, his typing is amazing. So yeah, that's the reason I picked Mega Metagross, and I always love to give my mons nicknames. So, the nickname for Mega Metagross will be Megatron. I know I'm original, but you know, it seems to fit the mon perfectly. As we were going back through, the second pick, I'm so surprised that no one picked him up either. It's insane of just how good a mon this guy is. We picked up one of the 3 Therian forms. We picked up Tornadus T. This mon is amazing. His ability is really good. His attack and special attack are a bar none, and his speed stat is one of the fastest in the tier. 121 speed? Man, that's just amazing of how fast this guy can be. His pool is nuts. Like acrobatics, brick break, bulk up, crunch. He can learn grass knot, hammer arm. Like what? But yes, Tornadus Therian is here on the team. He's a relatively bulky mon. His stats are amazing. His HP is fairly good. 79 base HP. Like I said, his speed is amazing. His move pool is great. His ability regenerator, we could do a pivot set and he'd be good as gold. We could do anything. Tornadus Therian is great. The nickname for this guy is going to be Alois, which is the Greek god and king of the winds. I thought it'd suit him perfectly, so that's where we're going to go with this. The next pick, I was even more surprised he wasn't picked up because he is one of the monsters of the OU tier. He may be little, but he packs a hell of a punch. We decided we needed also a bulky water type, so we picked up Manaphy. We picked up one of the monsters of this tier, along with Metagross. It's amazing. Manaphy has base 100 stats across the board. He can be bulky as hell. He can be speedy. He can be defensive. He can burst you down with special attack or normal attack. Manaphy, his move pool is diverse as anything. Ancient Power, Blizzard, Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball. It's amazing what this little guy can do. He's a great mon all around. Shadow Ball, Scald, Return, Toxic, U-Turn, Waterfall, he's Tail Glow. This is one of the reasons I mainly picked him up. Tail Glow is a great ability for him. And as you can see by the nickname, this little Pokemon has a little special place in my little sister's heart. So we're going to call him Happy from the Pokemon movie, since she loves Happy. Happy loves you, and I'm so happy to have him on the team. Welcome Manaphy to the Down Under DARMANITANS. Now when it came down to Yu-Yu, our mons were we were slowly getting there, and I'm surprised no one picked him up either. Everyone, like, main heavy hitters went, but this one didn't, and I needed something to cover Alois and Happy since they have a weakness to electricity. Yes, electricity. And he was just sitting there, so I was like, yeah, well, Crocodile was taken, he was one of my first picks, but he was taken, so he was my next best thing. We have decided to pick up the Wall Breaker and Earthshaker himself, Mamoswine. Mamoswine is a Wall Breaker and a half. His speed is pretty good, it can be good, but his HP and attack stats are amazing. He is a fat mon. His attack is a base 130, so the Earthquake you're going to cop from this guy is going to be incredibly good, and his abilities, Oblivious and Thick Fat, are just so good. Thick Fat allows him to be less weakened by ice and fire moves. It's just so good. His move pool, he can be a rocker, he can be just a defensive rocker, he can be an all-out attacker. He can learn, knock off, light screen. He can learn freeze dry, which is kind of insane. He's just I like Mamoswine. He's one of my favorite UU mons. But so far we've got really fat mons, which I really like in my type of playstyle. And as thanks to I've always called my Mamoswine this. His nickname shall be Jazz. Yeah, Jazz. As we were going further into UU, I wanted to pick up some more speed. As you've seen, we've got Alois, who is 120 speed. Megatron is very fast, and Happy can be anything you want because the mana fee is base 100 stats. But we needed a speedy rocker at least. We also needed something that can hit fairly hard. And we also have a weakness to grass now. So, but Alois covers that, but Happy and Jazz do have a weakness to grass. And this is where this Monkey King comes in. We decided to pick up the fighting monkey himself, Wukong. Infinape. Sorry, if you haven't already noticed, that's his nickname. We are naming him after the Monkey King, Wukong. But his base stats, his defense and his special defense may not be good, but his special attack, his attack, and his speed are all fairly good for the UU tier. He can also, his move pool is amazing. We can run Brick Break or Close Combat. He can run Earthquake, Encore, Fake Out even if we wanted to. Gunk Shot to deal with fairies. You can run Grass Knot. He's so diverse. He even gets Acrobatics, which is insane thing to think about. Flying move on a fighting type. But he can also be run as a. But the main reason I picked Infinite up is priority. As in OU, I do not have any priority, but UU I do. With Jazz, I have Ice Shard, and Wukong, I have a Mach Punch, which is really nice because it's a fighting Mach Punch to start with. He can also learn Poison Jab, Rock Slide. He's such a good mon. He can also be a fast Suicide Rocker if you want. We could run Choice, so that we could run a Sash with rocks and Close Combat and whatever. If he gets hit, he sets up rocks, and the next turn he hits you with a Close Combat just to get some damage off. But Wukong is here, Infinape is here to join the Down Under Darmanitans, as I wanted to pick up our mascot Darmanitan, but he was unfortunately sniped from me. But Wukong is here, Infinape is here, so he's a very diverse mon, and I love him. I actually really love Infinape, he's a great mon. As we were going on to the draft, I realized everybody was picking up the dragons from OU, and I realized I needed a dragon, some sort of dragon, to hit hard, and I realized no one had picked him up, so we decided to pick up the wall breaker himself, Haxorus. Yes, Haxorus is an unbelievable wall breaker. His attack stack is 147, it's nearly 150. His attack stat is insane. His HP is okay. It's actually a fairly good attack stat. A HP stat. His speed is amazing in UU. He is one of the fastest and best Dragon Dance users I know of in this tier. That's why I picked him up. His abilities are amazing. Rivalry is a okay ability, but the real ability we wanted to pick up with this guy was Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker allows us to hit mons that have Levitate, so Rotoms. Any of the Rotoms can be hit with an Earthquake. We also break through Magic Bounce because of Mold Breaker. It's dead set, nothing can stop Mold. Mold Breaker is a great ability and I love it. Haxorus is here as my dragon. He can run Dragon Claw, Earthquake. His move pool is fairly diverse. Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Dragon Dance, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail. Focus Blast, Grass Knot, any Night/Low Kick. A Poison Jab, great, perfect move to fight against fairies because he's fast as hell with Dragon Dance. He's very scary with a Dragon Dance. Shadow Claw, Superpower, another great fighting type move. You don't think he can run Knock Off. No, he can't, but he can Taunt. He's just a quick mon that I like quite a bit. So yes, Haxorus is here part of the Down Under Manitans, and we named him after the god of the Lord of the Forgotten from Mexico. We have named our Haxorus Xibalba, because he will absolutely make you forget you are there. So as we were going on, everyone was seeming to getting sniped. I noticed that we needed an electric type, and I didn't have one yet, because unfortunately I wanted Garvantula. Garvantula would have been amazing, but unfortunately he was sniped from us 2 turns before I got to go. But when we hit RU, this tier is incredibly small, and I'm glad I was in the area that I was, because I could actually pick the mons that I wanted, because then all of the mons that I wanted hadn't gone yet. But as I said, we need an electric type, and I know he's not the fastest, but he is incredibly bulky. I decided to pick up Electros. No weaknesses. He has the ability to levitate unless they have a Mold Breaker, and I don't think the only other Mold Breaker that I know of is Haxorus, which I've picked up, and we also have to watch out for Extra Drill. But other than that, Electros is a great Pokemon, bulky as hell. His attack stat and special attack stat are pretty good. The only thing that lets him down is his speed. His base speed is only 50, but that's okay because he's a bulky mon that will just, if he gets to an attack, he will attack you and he will hurt because of his base attack and his special attacks. His move pool is incredibly diverse. He can coil, Acid Spray, Acrobatics, Aqua Tail, Drain Punch, Dragon Tail, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Giga Drain, Grass Knot, all of the knockoff. All of this, I've picked all my mons around the way they can be incredibly diverse. Electros is one of these mons, and I just love Electros. He's a great bulky mon. Run him Assault Vest. He can just eat up hits and then hit you back twice as hard. He can run Signal Beam if we have a weakness to grass. All that Substitute, Sleep Talk, Rest, blah blah blah. Superpower is another Thunderbolt, all the good shit. So Electros is here. I'm glad I picked him up. He's an incredibly diverse mon. We will be nicknaming this Electros Tesla after the Tesla coil, because, you know, electric eel coils. I found it quite funny. But yeah, Tesla is here on the Down Under Manitans. Great to have picked him up. Now we have a great bulky electric type, which I'm quite happy with. As we were going on, I realized we didn't have a defogger or something to get rid of hazards, which kind of scared me, seeing that I have Infernape, who is incredibly vulnerable to spikes and toxic spikes and rocks. Also, Tornadus, who doesn't like rocks at all, even though he's bulky as hell. Rocks don't work with him because he's a pure flying type. But I noticed in and you know this is RU that this little mon hasn't been picked up, and it's an incredibly well received mon in draft format, I decided to pick up Togetic for the Down Under Darmanitans as one of our main defoggers. Just its stats with Eviolite alone, special defense and defense with Eviolite are amazing. If we just give it an Eviolite, and is Hustle's actually okay move, but with Eviolite its defenses go up quite a bit. It gives its defenses and special defenses a 1.5, so that's really nice. Just an Eviolite Togetic with whatever ability, but its moveset are incredibly good. Baton Pass, I don't think we're allowed to use Baton Pass because I think we have a Baton Pass clause, but it knows Dazzling Gleam, Deflog, Drain Punch, Encore, Extrasensory, can know Flamethrower, Grass Knot, Heal Bell. This can actually be our Cleric if we wanted it to be. So Heal Bell, Protect, Psychic Shock, Rest, Roost, Shadow Ball, Signal Gleam, Sleep Talk, Soft Boiled, oh god, lol. Tailwind, we can set up with Tailwind. She's also a very good Thunder Waver. It's also really good that we have Thunder Wave. And Tri Attack. And Wish, it can be our Cleric. We can make Vanellope our Cleric. We can make Togetic our Cleric. But, mainly I've got to pick her up for Defog. Defog is great just to have. Also, the nickname I'm going to give Togetic is Vanellope. Vanellope Von Sweet from Wreck-It Ralph, as my sister also loves this Pokemon's evolution form, this evolutionary chain, so that is also another named Pokemon that she wanted me to name this, so it's quite okay. So we got Vanellope the Togetic for part of the Darmanitans. I realized that we also needed at least another Mon that could hit incredibly hard, but also could use at least some hazard clear. Because I really don't want to just put all the thing on Vanellope for hazard clearing, because they could bring a poison type and just destroy poor Vanellope. There goes our hazard clear. But I saw this Mon. There was one Mon that I wanted, but it was sniped from us. I wanted the Drapion for our team, but it was sniped because we don't have a Dark type at this point. But yes, we wanted the Drapion for the Poison Dark, but it got sniped. But it's okay because we have another one, not a Dark type, but we picked up another really good Mon who can also clear hazards for us and has some pretty amazing abilities. We picked up Braviary for our last pick of RU. Braviary is incredibly fat, has 100 base HP, his attack is fairly high, his defense and special defense are fairly good, and his speed is okay. He's not very much of a special, but he's a very hard-hitting physical attacker. Also can run Defog, which is very nice. His abilities are amazing. He has Defiant and Sheer Force. Sheer Force is great because it can increase the secondary effect by 1.3 times power and nullifies the effect. And then Defiant allows me to raise my attack if my stats are lowered. So if someone tries to intimidate me, they might not know I run Defiant and they won't send it, or they might think I run Defiant and won't send out their Intimidator against a Braviary with Brave Bird. Brave Bird Sheer Force incredibly hurts quite a bit. But yes, Braviary's here as another Fat Mon. I like my Fat Mons. Fat Mon with a high attack stat that can hit incredibly hard and do some work for us with removing hazards and whatnot. I decided because it's based on the eagle and it looks American, I decided to name our Bravery Tomahawk. Just go American Indian on it and we'll name it Tomahawk. So we were heading into the last pick of the draft. Everybody at this point was being sniped. But the one Mon I've had my eye on since I was introduced into this league was one specific. Oh, there was like multiple specific mons that I really wanted. But this mon I wanted for this tier because I knew it was good. It's one of the higher. It's really good in this tier. So we picked up. I'm surprised no one picked it first go, but I did. So as my pick came around, I picked it. We picked up Gastrodon. Yes, we picked up the squishy herself, the fat squishy herself, Gastrodon, with a massive HP stat. Her attack stat is not that great. Her defense is okay, but what I'm after is her special defense and her special attack and her HP stat. That's the main reason I picked her up. She is great, and the ability of Storm Drain is great. A great switch in to any water type. Her only weakness is grass. But her move pool is incredibly good. Pain Split, Memento, Protect, Recover, Rest, Return, Rock Slide, Scald, Sleep Talk, Body Slam, Ancient Power, Blizzard, Clear Smog, Facade, all of the good stuff. She can learn Sludge Wave, I did not know that. Sludge Wave and Sludge Bomb, I did not know that. But she can also be a very good Toxic mon. She can Toxic you and you won't know what to do about it. Unless you have a Steel type, of course, to switch into, but anyway. She's just very good or in this tier, and in draft format she's incredibly good too. We are going to name this Gastrodon after Nappy's Gastrodon, Cindy, because I really like the name, and Nappy is the one that actually told me that this mon is, or didn't tell me, but now I've been watching his videos and it says he loves this mon, and I've actually battled with it, and it's an incredibly good mon to battle with. So Cindy the Gastrodon, the three-eyed slimy is here on the Down Under Darmanitans. We were coming around again, and I realized I didn't have a ghost type, but I did have this Pokemon pinned for this exact tier. I've been watching Mega Mugwai for a while now, and he had soul-heartedly recommended this mon if you're in Draft League. I picked up Gourgeist. Just the typing Ghost Grass is great. She has her physical defense is amazing. Her HP stat is really nice. Her specially defensive is pretty good too. She's a good, well-rounded mon with the ability. The only ability I'm going to be using is Frisk. Frisk is just so good just to check what people have in their mons. It's just, except for their Mega, you'd already know what their Mega has. But she is great switch-ins for everything. She's also a spin blocker, which is really nice. She also has a diverse move pool of quite a few things. She's a very, very, very well-rounded mon. Another main reason I got her is because I didn't have anything to burn anything. So Gourgeist is a really good Will-O-Wisper. Since it's a substitute, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Sneak. It's another priority move. We picked up more priority with Shadow Sneak, and yeah. So Gourgeist is here. I do quite enjoy Gourgeist. She's a very. We have 4 different types of Gourgeist to pick. If we wanted a fatter one, we could go with the largest Gourgeist. But she's here. Gourgeist is here. Say hello to Audrey, named after the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. It's one of my favourite musicals, so we named it Audrey after Audrey too, but we just call it Audrey for here. So Gourgeist, when we were coming down to our last pick, everybody had picked their mons and was getting sniped, and I realised I needed just one more mon to be able to clear hazards. So I wanted to pick up a spinner, and I didn't see any good spinners until I noticed one that was just sitting there. So I went up to my pick and we picked up Claydol. Claydol is an amazing spinner in NU. He's very, very good. He's also has the move Levitate. There it is, Rapid Spin. I was just checking if he did get Rapid Spin, because if he didn't, I would have been incredibly sad. But his base stats, he's also another very defensive mon. He's a really good special defensive wall. With the psychic and ground typing. Yes, he's weak to water, but I have things for that. I have Cindy, who can just switch in, Storm Drain, blah blah blah. But the special defense and defense on Claydol is great. The ability to levitate is very good. I think it's the only ability he has. It is. And his stats are amazing. His move pool is very, 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 very diverse. Ice Beam, Light Screen, Mirror Coat, Protect, Psychic, Gyro Balls, another Steel type I can hit fairies with. If I feel frisky, I could normal Gen Explosion, you know, but I really doubt that's going to happen. Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind. Calm Mind Substitute is great. I'm pretty sure he gets Substitute. He does. Substitutes. Calm Mind is great. He is also another rocker, and like I said, he is also a spinner. But we are going to nickname this Claydol Oracle. Oracle just makes sense because of the eyes he has. He can see you from all directions. So that's it, people. This has been our team. This is our team for the next 9 weeks of our battles. We will hopefully find out our first battle very soon. Slival will be posting out our battles very soon. But yes, hopefully you cheer on the Down Under DARMANITANS for all they're worth. I will be trying my very best to win these battles. I would also like to thank you. If you do like this video, please hit that like button down below. Cause mischief and mayhem wherever you go, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya!